Happy 2020. Happy New Year to our member congregations. Seems like a great time to talk about choices and options. I was struck the other day visiting another church that many congregations have created different options and choices about how you can give your offering. You could do hard cash, I suppose. They often pass an offering plate. Sometimes they provide these budget envelopes for people, but there are often other choices. You could text the amount into a certain number. You could do online giving. There are some people that have live stream options with a giving option planted on that screen. Just click here. It's amazing to me how we have created choices and options for people for how they would like to give their tithes and offerings. I wonder if we are just as passionate about making sure we give people options for other things. What about registering their presence? Some of us, perhaps congregations don't do that. Others might pass a little folder down the pew and take that mini golf pencil and try to get your name and address in there, and you pass it to the next person. But I can envision some people who would really struggle to give their information that way, to record their presence as part of our worship setting. Do we need some options around that? What if we said, hey, you could fill that in, or you could go online to this place and you could fill it in via computer or your phone. The other option would be to stop at the welcome station and give that information verbally after the service. We just want to make sure we know that you've joined us today in worship. So again, we want people to be able to give their tithes and offerings. Do we want everybody to have a great shot at registering their presence today? What about our call to worship? I know I've mentioned this, but have we created options so that people have the opportunity, the greatest chance possible to connect with a worship service? Sometimes it's the words we say, right? We've compared please stand versus please stand in body or in spirit. Could we perhaps show 6 images of biblical postures in worship and ask people to choose that posture that makes sense to them on this day as we enter and join our hearts in worship? Another thing is, do we create alternate spaces? Maybe live stream is our option. You're joining us live today, or you may be joining us via live stream. Maybe there are options within for those that have sensory systems that would appreciate a second option in joining into worship, where the lights are maybe down some. There's movement freedom. We can turn the sound down based on who is in that space. So again, options for joining in worship. And what about prayer requests? Do we have options for giving prayer requests? If the one way is to take the microphone and speak, have we missed out on those people that would much rather text their prayer request to a given number and have somebody else read it, or to go online if it's confidential and enter their prayer request another way? Do we have people who struggle with words and would rather show us their prayer requests? So we've provided some visuals to some extent to allow people to register their prayer request with us. Can we be as eager about those portions of our worship service as we are about giving options for giving? Can we create those options and choices? Again, those are just some thoughts today, but maybe you've done a lot of thinking about this already. Maybe you have a portion of your worship service where you said, we have created choices and options. And Barb, you didn't have to happen to mention those today. We'd love to give you Tori White's email address. We'd love to hear what those are. We'll create a folder on our member page for a piece of the worship service where we have truly been able to learn from you about what choices and options you have created in a space, whether that's in a children's ministry area, youth ministry, adult, or intergenerational worship service. Let us hear about your choices and options as we seek to have each one participate more fully in our congregations.